Hello my friends, I am G Hondo and welcome back to our scenarios Let's Play on Railroad Tycoon 3. Today I am going to attempt, once again, the scenario I tried last time, which was Southern Pacific, that I lost at very badly. For those of you who watched that video, it's kind of a twist one where you're given a set of goals and then as soon as you pass those, the goals change. Um, and I was pretty sure I had passed the bronze, at least, of the new set of goals. I did some digging on some really old forums, and it turns out there's actually a bug in that scenario where the only condition checked for at the very end of the game is whether or not you qualified for gold. So basically, this scenario is gold or nothing. So I'm going to give it another shot, and we'll see how I do this time. But it is a very difficult mission. The little note on the map is quite right about that. But I'll leave this up just in case anyone didn't watch my previous attempt. If you'd like to pause the video to have a read of that, I'll give you a few seconds and then I'll move on to the next screen. So basically, this portion of the scenario starts us in Los Angeles and we need to make it to El Paso. Each individual, like each improvement of the medal is basically just cutting off more time. So we are given a station and a tiny bit of track in LA that we must start in because we cannot build unconnected track, which is annoying. Makes building through mountains very difficult because you can hardly ever see where exactly you're going. It's often easier to start at the destination and work your way back, and then simultaneously start at your source and work your way forward, and then meet the two up in the middle. But you cannot do that in this one. You have to just go all one shot, which is kind of annoying. The worst part, though, is limited track. So we first just go ahead and get ourselves oriented, something approaching north, that's close enough. So we start here in LA, and like I said, we have a tiny station and a bit of track here. Um, I could, and I tested this exploit out when I was playing it earlier off camera. Um, I technically can bulldoze out this station and track, and then I can start building track wherever I want. But I'm not going to do that because that is just purely exploitative, and I don't do cheats and exploits on this channel. The other reason, though, is you still have the same limited track. Like even if so, I could come over here and start in El Paso, wherever it went. There it is. But I still have to make it to LA. Like it still does check if these two cities are connected. So it doesn't really help. The only reason I might consider doing it is I could come over here somewhere and maybe, you know, build in a easier area. Maybe it'd be more profitable. So I guess that would be useful. But then I just have much further to go, and I still have very limited track to get there. 500 sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. So anyway, what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to do, at least at first, building up industry. Now, normally, every year I would milk the shareholders, um, but I'm actually not going to do that this time because I'm starting to wonder, and I wondered this at the end of the last episode, I played this as well, um, I may have to take over some of these routes. And in order to do that, I need to have a great deal of personal wealth and company wealth available. Um, so rather than milking the shareholders, I'm actually going to try to keep that in check and instead concentrate on building up my personal wealth so I can at least get that side of the equation done. Building up the company wealth will obviously depend on how well I do with the industries. In practicing this mission a couple times off camera, I have noticed that the oil wells, if you can catch them as soon as they're built, are incredibly profitable. Um, Sometimes they're built up over here, but sometimes they're built in Mexico. It's completely random. So obviously ones in Mexico we can't have because I'm not spending $1 million for access rights. But if they happen to come up over here somewhere, then it's not really a problem. Um, I mean, later on, if industry profits high enough, and at that point it might be worth buying rights into Mexico. In terms of running trains, though, it really isn't. There's only a few cities, and none of them are all that good. There's no ports or warehouses in any of them. Like this city here, Ensenada, is decent. Like it says 1.5 star. and it's the only one on this side of this mountain. So by the time I'm over here with trains, I'm already well into the mission. There's a couple more, Eroka Karborka and Hermosila, and I'm sure I'm butchering these names because my wife is laughing at me again. But again, these are only 1.5-star cities, and they're really long way to get to. And you don't get track extensions for building to them. Like, for example, if I built, say a track from Los Angeles to Mission Viejo here, I'll get a little bit of track back in form of a grant. If I then build to San Diego, again, I'll get some track back as a grant. When you build into Mexico, you don't get that, so you've just spent a lot of track. And while, yes, there may be profit in it for your company, there's no extra track bonus. And that's going to be the real limiting factor for me here, what I can tell. But anyway, let's first go ahead and try and find something to buy. There should not be any oil on the map yet. That tends to pop in the first couple of years, but again, it's random, so it could be almost immediate. It might take a couple of years. So what we'll do is we'll just go with stuff that we know works well: grains, produce, wool, those sorts of things. Because those tend to be always profitable. And because the game just started, it hasn't recognized the last profit level, so I should be able to scoop up a couple of things anyway at a good price. Let's grab some produce there. How does this one look? Good, we'll take that. And is there any other ones nearby? There's one there. Well, I could extend a loan to do that, but I'd rather not do that if I don't have to. Let's look for wool. Sheep farms usually do okay as well. Okay, that'll work. We'll take that. We'll have a few bucks left over, no big deal. And I'm going to start the ball rolling nice and early, investing in myself. There we go. It's going to be really hard to deny myself the temptation to issue stock. I will do that to buy an oil well, if one pops up while I can't afford it. But that's the only scenario I'm going to do that in. Nothing else is worth damaging the company shareholders for, because like I say, I will need to take over other companies later. So let's go ahead, get this game running here. So we'll pretty much just be keeping an eye on this screen here to make sure the industries are doing well. Now maybe we'll leave the map over some of the opponents here. Ideally, the cities that I know for a fact matter is Wichita, not Wichita Falls like I did last time. Oh, there it is, right there. Stop. Where is this? Is that in... Nope, that's in the US, so that's available. See, right now it says it only needs 320,000 to buy. That will jump up to about $1 million, because these things tend to make a lot of money. So I will definitely want that. That might not be enough. I may have to extend a loan anyway. Yeah, I do. That's unfortunate. It's fine. I don't mind taking a bond out for an oil well, because these things make a lot of money. So remember, I bought it for 320. So if this thing averages 32,000 a year, then it would be considered break even. But if we actually watch it, it's going to do much better than that. And that's why it's so important to grab them whenever they become available. The only downfall is this is the only one that I get a pop-up for, because it's the very first one on the map. So I need to just manually check the map every once in a while to see if more of them show up. But you can see we're only 3 months in, and it's already made more than the 32 effectively that I was paying for it. So it's absolutely a fantastic investment. Let's switch to oil. Let's see if there are. There's another one up right there. I can see the little triangle. There's another one up here. Okay, so this one wants 450, so it's clearly been around a few months. Even that's still a good deal. I'm going to take that. Because again, this will go definitely over 45. It's already over 45, and it's not even been there a whole year. Yeah, the oil wells are a fantastic investment, and they are probably the best you can actually invest in on this map. I mean, obviously the produce and sheep farms and all that, they'll make steady money, but the oil wells are really, really good, and if you can get in when they're just being built, you can get them at a fraction of what they should cost. So Anyway, so we are going here. Not really, there's nothing really to see on any of the other screens right now, so we'll pretty much ignore those. The only thing I might do is, yeah, I don't have enough to buy in yet. I don't really want to go too deep into margin, at least not this early. So let's just keep an eye out for more oil. Okay, looks like it's still just the two of them so far. And like I say, it's random. They can pop up anywhere on this map. I've seen them as far east as over where my mouse was there, and as far west as here. So they can literally be absolutely anywhere. So I don't know though if they'll pop up on the map while I have that map open. So I tend to flip back and forth a fair bit. As I was saying earlier, I know one of the important cities that's up here at Wichita, which looks like it is connected already, all the way down to Amarillo. Actually, that's not bad. And the other one that will become important, obviously, is New Orleans itself, which is actually the one mentioned in the first mission description. It's a bit sneaky though. It says, but don't worry, you only have to get from LA over to El Paso, and then it says, oh, yeah, we actually want you to go all the way. It's it's supposed to be a neat little twist, but really, in my mind, just a bit of a jerk move on their part. But anyway. And they should be generally pleased with me, because I mean, we're certainly not making a lot of money, but it's not bad. And any new oil yet? Nope. It's also random how many of them show up. I played one game where there was only one ever for the entire duration, and one where there ended up being 5 of them by the end. So I don't want this to sit too high for too long, so we're not really making anything off it. I want to try and keep about 300 or 400 available at most of the time to buy an oil well if one pops. So if this gets up into the 600, 700, 800 range, at that point I'll just try and find something else to buy into, like a produce farm or like sheep, or a sheep farm, or something like that. Something not terribly expensive, but generally quietly profitable. I think there's 2 arrows there. Oh no, that was just my eyes, never mind. I was getting optimistic that they had built a second well right beside the first one, but I guess not. That's still a little bit more margin than I want to get to. I don't really want to drop much below about 20k. Ideally not below 10k in personal cash. At least not this early on, while the company's value still jumps up and down a lot. I guess the other thing I could do is just pay this off if there's not going to be another oil well anytime soon. And it doesn't look like there's going to be. So maybe I'll just pay that off just so we're not paying 11% interest on it. That will help a bit, because there's no sense in paying for that for no reason. Alright, so we're just cruising through the time here, slowly racking in the bucks. Probably not really fast enough. I probably should be more aggressive about buying up industry, but I'm really concentrating on the oil because I know it's good. It's very, very good. Although they're apparently still happy with me, so. Well, I guess because I'm doing decently. Only 2 of the other trains, all 5 of the opponents do nothing but trains. Some of them will occasionally buy the odd industry, but not very much. They really do concentrate just on buying track and extending their networks, which is good, because the more they do, the less I'll have to do later. But 3 of them are not doing well at all. So I may end up buying one of them out just to have access to better areas to build in. But anyway. Still no sign of another oil, that's fine. And that's still a bit higher than I'd like, although we're probably going to be splitting soon. Especially if we're getting into a stronger economy, so I think I will buy one on margin. The more I buy before it splits, the better, because there's less I have to buy after. So that's a lot more than I wanted to do, but it'll be alright. The other thing I could do, because I do see that these 2 here, I think all 3 of them actually, but especially these 2, new train there, these 2 companies are failing. I could short sell them, although they're still worth a lot, so they still have time to fix themselves. if I notice that they keep staying in debt from, year over year over year for a while, it might be worth just trying to short sell them a bit. Gives me a bit more personal cash to buy more profitable companies like my own. But anyway, between my small dividend and my salary, so my personal cash is slowly improving. So I'm not too upset about that, but I'm definitely going to split. Anytime you hit 100 share price at the end of the year, if it's still over 100, because they usually correct at the end of the year, then you split. Because they try and keep the share price below 100 to make it more accessible to outside investors. So we will definitely see a pop up. Yeah, there it is. About a split. But anytime there's a split, that means the shareholders are doing really well, so that almost always means a raise, sometimes even a bonus. So it also, though, does mean that all the opponents are doing better too, except this one. This one's still doing terribly, even in a prosperity. Interesting. Anyway, no new oil, and we got a good pile of cash, so let's just find something else to invest in. Maybe a grain farm, those are usually decent. Yeah, that'll do. So that's really not, technically a great investment, but it's pretty much break even, but we have nothing else to do with this cash at the moment. So it might as well invest itself to make some money anyway. And that will be fine. Let's go see how the networks of our opponents are doing. So the New Orleans computer looks like it's heading up to Nacogdoches. If they happen to ever connect to this one, that would be very good. Because obviously the less I have to connect, the better. Meanwhile, this one here doesn't... Oh, it looks like it just... Yeah, I see the messages there. Because I just saw that track up here. I was right about to say they look like they've stopped at Amarillo, but then they just extended to Hobbs, so that's good. So the further... Yeah, see, that's much better. So once I get to El Paso, that's not bad at all to connect to theirs. Because I am allowed to be connected to them to count as reaching a city. With it, even if I don't buy them out, that would still count, so... That would help there. Let's see, yeah, they do buy the occasional industry, but it's not really their priority. Do need this guy here to connect to something, though. Yeah, this one here is not doing very well at all. So it's almost certainly going to be going away very soon. Is there any new oil? Nope, looks like it's just the two. So it looks like we're going to only have the 2 oil wells in this map. That's the good or bad part about random generation, I guess. So let's go ahead and find something else to invest in. Maybe a coffee farm, if I can afford it. They tend to be a bit more expensive. Yeah, I'm not going to take out a loan for that. Let's just find something a bit cheaper. Maybe a coal mine. Coal mines are usually decent. Or iron mines, they're decent as well. Oh, that one's very expensive. How about this cotton farm? Okay, that's within our range. We'll take that. 1 cotton farm coming up. That'll do. Still a bit light on personal cash, so I don't want to push 2 more yet. So we'll just keep rolling. The problem is, like for example, let's say I was building, further south. Say I connected to San Antonio. I can't then connect Waco to Nacogdoches because I don't own this track. I can use it in terms of what cities are connected, but I can only build off my own. So if I was, say, down here and I need to connect up here, I would then still have to build all this track here myself. I'm kind of surprised that they aren't connecting Houston to Beaumont or to Nacogdoches, because Houston's a good, profitable city. I'm sure it will at some point, but I guess not yet. Oh, how about like 2 seconds after I mention it? Oh, these guys connected, not these ones. Well, if they still could connect on this side, and they could use each other's track, and that'd be very useful. Optimistic for more oil? No, okay. Let's look for some iron mines. Those tend to be There's quite a few of them on this map. Okay. A little bit more than I can do. That one looks like it's in our range. We'll take that one. The other thing I was thinking about doing, because I know this company is failing, might be time to start thinking about short selling them. Yeah, because they're just taking a loss year over year over year. This one's not doing well either. So I think it might not be a bad idea. Yeah, look, the share prices are just tanking. Okay, so we're going to short sell them. So basically, for those not familiar with the stock market, basically what I'm doing here is, even though I don't actually own any shares, I'm selling them at this price. I obviously will have to then buy them back because I don't actually own any. But the theory is, if I sell them at 47, the company continues to do poorly. In a couple of years, I buy them back. Maybe by then the share prices drop to, I don't know, 20 or 30. So then I've made, 10 or 20 bucks per share on the difference. So it is a little bit of a risk, but it's not too bad because clearly this company's not doing well at all. And this one's not doing well either, but this one seems to be doing worse. So I'm going to go ahead and short sell 5,000 of their shares at 47 apiece. And you can see already their price has tanked to 32 just from me doing that. I could turn around and just rebuy them right now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wait for it to continue to drop. So I just have to, mentally remember I paid 47 effectively for, well, it took 47, so I need to make sure when I do go to sell that they do drop some more. I'm ideally going to not want to get rid of them until they're below 30, maybe even below 20 if I can wait that long. But that frees up some temporary personal cash that I can actually use just to go ahead and push into my own company. So, excellent. Alright, well, let's keep going. So this means now not only do I want to watch my own company here, I need to be keeping an eye on this one as well. Yeah, these guys are buying them up now that I've destroyed the share price by doing all that short selling. They're trying to buy it up because they also recognize that this company's in trouble. The computer isn't necessarily great at playing the stock market, but they do know a few things to do, so but that's okay. We'll just continue to let that company fall apart, and that'll be fine. In the meantime, let's keep an eye out for new things to invest in. I see it. Way up in the corner here. And oh, it's been there a while. The price is going to be bad. Well, it might be bad. Yeah, the price is pretty bad. But that's what I was talking about. See, you can see they make, and that may not even have been a full year. I don't know when in 1867 it was built, but it already made 136. So this thing really should cost about 1.3 million. I'm going to get it for 850 because I'm going to extend a loan or a bond to get that. Decent. There we go. Perfect. So that will be very good. Let's keep it on the screen for a bit so we can see how it does by this year. I think it's going to be around 140 or 150, which means it should be about $1.5 million, and I got it at basically half price, which is excellent. I am quite okay with that. Well, and they issued new stock, which was immediately gobbled up. And they're still failing, so no worries there. This one's starting to recover a little bit, so if I had short sold them, I wouldn't be doing so well on that. Like, I probably would lose money on it. But this company's clearly going down the dumper, so we don't have to worry about that. Excellent. I go have a look at them right now. Oops. Yeah, it's dropped back down to 37 even after they had bought out more. And it looks like it's only just continuing to drop, so I think this was a good move on my part to do that. So we'll just continue to let them fade. And that will be excellent. Alright, so it's still just the... Wait. There's a fourth one. Okay, it's in Mexico, and it's been there a little while because I apparently missed it. So, not only is its actual price going to be bad, but I also would have to pay an extra $1 million for access rights in Mexico to even buy the thing. And I'm not sure that that's going to be worthwhile. Makes about 125 a year, 8 years per 100,000, so it would take 16 years to basically pay for itself at that point, which would put us into 1885, which is not going to work. So no, I'm not going to be buying that oil well, sadly. If I caught it a lot sooner at a much lower price, then maybe it would have been worthwhile, but at this point, I'm going to have to let it go by the wayside. That's okay. Let me see here. What about corn? Is there any of those that are worth buying near here? Well, it's not too bad. Okay, so these are all just slightly too expensive for me. Oh, that one's alright. That's a decent investment. It's not great, but it's not bad. We'll take it. Okay, lovely. Doesn't really apply to us, but lovely. Moving on. Economy's going to start to sink, which actually could be a good thing because that's going to mean the share prices will drop. So mine may not split, which wouldn't be a big deal either way, but theirs will also start to drop some more, and thus I should be able to buy them back very easily whenever I feel like it, and have made a decent amount of money off of doing so. But I think it's still going to drop some more, so I'm going to leave it for now. That's really where the risk to that comes in. I mean, there's always a chance they'll turn the company around and actually start making money, but I think with a loss that many times in a row, I think that's 5 years in a row now that I've noticed, I think it's pretty safe to say that they're not going anywhere. Oh, things are going to drop even more. I think that means it's a good time for me to pick up a little bit more of my own. Oh, okay, so we're getting squeezed a bit. What's happened is there's enough. See, it says other investors here, and that usually just means, you know, non-AI players. But because there's so many AIs, this could also include some of us. What's happened is people are trying to buy the actual stock. So even though it looks like there's 10K available, there probably really isn't. There's probably none available. So I was forced to sell one just to cover this. But it's fine because I sold it at 29 instead of the 47 I'd marked it for. So I'm actually completely okay with that. So there we go. So I made anywhere from 10 to 15 per share, like per 1,000 shares, off of that whole exercise. So I think overall it was worthwhile. Certainly gave me a bit more personal cash, although I've already invested it in my own company, so I am showing as a negative right now, but that's okay. Should actually increase the dividend a little bit, just to help myself a little bit. I don't want to really drain the company too badly here, because I will need to be able to keep investing in industries and Eventually, possibly, I may have to buy another company out, but for now, let's just go find something to invest in. How about cotton? There's a fair bit of cotton over here. Let's go have a look at some of these. It's a little bit expensive for what it is. Let's find another one. That one's a little bit better. At least it's keeping up, sort of. A little bit high. How about this iron mine? It just started, doesn't have a lot of history. That's not a great deal. See, the problem is, because the economy was doing really well, these are all a little bit higher than normal, so the price is a bit higher. It hasn't really had time to notice that, the economy has tanked a little bit. So it's not really going to be making that much. So this may not be a great time to actually buy into a company, or excuse me, an industry. It's probably going to be a lot trickier than normal to find a decent one to pick up. I'll just take this one. It'll be okay. It's not, again, it's not a great deal, but it'll do. It's better than just having the money sitting here doing nothing. So, but now that I've increased that dividend a bit, this should chip away a little bit better. So I'll make sure I'm not getting messed up too much by the interest. I still draw an actual salary, which should be able to pretty much keep up with this, but I want to make sure. Okay, so we are still chipping away at it a little bit. That's good. Okay. Yes. See, the part that is kind of annoying about this game is because it's all based on how the shareholders think. When the economy tanks, the share prices all drop, so the shareholders all get upset. So they're mad at me because the economy sucks. As if I have any real control over that, It's not like I'm the president or something. Anyway. Yeah, these guys are absolute. In fact, they didn't even, no profit at all. I think they are going to be going bankrupt very, very soon. So I wonder if I should, I'm not going to short sell again, I'm wondering if I should actually try and pick up some of these. That might help with a takeover if I need to do it. Although they're so far in the tank, I may be able to just do it without. Oh, yeah, this is... I'm not sure I actually want that company, but it is, I guess, good at least to see that that option is there. Let's have a look at them. I just use shift-click to jump to their home station. For those of you who play the game but don't know how to do that. So basically, they're going here, up to here, and all the way over to here. I'm surprised that's not at least a moderately profitable route. This is the other company up here, I bet, that's also not doing necessarily all that well. I guess this area up here is just not really worth a lot of money. Although if they could then connect one of these to this line here somewhere, that might be helpful for them. I'm just not entirely sure if I would want to actually pick them up. They're a long way from where I'm going, and they don't immediately help me unless they actually at some point get connected to this line. So I'm not sure I would even want to buy them out. But anyway, let's just go look for some more decent investments. There's no new oil. What about paper? Haven't looked at one of those lately. Paper mill. They're doing really well. They're going to be wanting way too much, though. Yeah, because they're basing it on what they used to make during boom times. So, again, this is not a great time to be investing, but really don't want the money just sitting there doing nothing, because that's less than useful. Although once the economy stays down for a while, the prices may start to drop as they basically just average it out. Although the economy just improved, so back to normal. So I guess that's alright. Barstow. Barstow. Well, that is one I could go through. And the 300k they give me back would basically pay for a fair bit of the track and station. So, because I normally would consider going up here and across anyway, although sometimes I tried to go through this way. But yeah, if I go up to Bakersfield, I could then do Bakersfield to Barstow on the way out to the slightly less hilly region briefly. Okay, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. So that's good. These are also random. The last couple times I tried this, no cities ever did this. And the one time I did have one that did it, it was Henderson that wanted it. So it is random. But this is a decent one. That's not bad. That might be helpful. It's going to be a while. This is going to be quite expensive because this is all mountains here. Unless I skip Bakersfield, but it is a 2-star city, so that means it should be worth a decent profit. And at this point, that is very important. Economy's getting better, which means we are probably going to be splitting again. And these poor buggers are tanking even harder. These ones are kind of up and down because that company is just kind of on the fence as well. But these ones are doing just fine, so. Yeah, they're basically just hanging it on, whereas these ones, this company is just wrecked. These ones are both well, in fact, all three of them are doing really well. I really hope I don't have to try and buy one of them out because that's going to cost an absolute fortune. And I think 1872, yeah. So if I want the gold for the first half of the map, I need to connect El Paso this year. That's not going to happen. I do have a good credit rating, so I certainly could, take out a bunch of bonds and do it, but I don't really want to do that. Well, this would be the time. They're only 6%ers, so I don't know. But it might be worth doing this part. Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's see how far I can get on that without hopefully having to take out higher percentage bonds. Now this is the part where having to build connected track gets really annoying. Because as I'm going through here, sometimes it's a lot easier to then start a new route on this side and then just get them to connect at the end, but I'm not allowed to do that. It's very, 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 very frustrating. Okay, it'd be $1 million to make a tunnel. How much would it be just to go over it? A lot less, so. The actual trains will go very, very slowly, but I don't really care. Is that close enough? No, that's still not close enough. I'm not sure where the exact square is that it counts. And I do build a little more. Apparently it's a little bit further up and to the left. Probably can't build that way at all. This is so frustrating. And I have to waste track to even try and get that connection. Not to mention all the money. It's so incredibly frustrating. I'll do a smaller one. Can I get it further over? Nope. Okay, what if I try and cheat a little bit? I can't even put a tower. I was going to say I could try and cheat a little bit, put a facility here, because that sometimes will adjust the grade of the slope, which sometimes is enough to let you kind of cheat a little bit. Apparently not this time. That is incredibly frustrating. It means that was all a huge waste of money and track, because you do not get the track back when you bulldoze. So that was terrible. Thought I saw it jump up here. Oh, it's trying to make a tunnel. Yeah, I don't want a tunnel there. I just want you to actually build somewhere near where I'd like you to be. If you could be so kind. Can't, it won't go. Oh, that is so frustrating. Come on, come over here somewhere. Wasting so much track just trying to get somewhere for this stupid station. That's why I really don't like the cities on the hills here. Because it's so hard to find that little, like, it's clearly somewhere over here is the actual part it's looking for. I think I'm going to, at this point, load the autosave for 1872 and try building this track again. Because it just isn't working very well. I don't like having to do that because I don't really, well, just, it seems like cheating to me, but it really isn't. It's just trying to get around a really annoying limitation the game has put on. I mean, I know why it does it. It's trying to make the mission harder, and it does do that, but it also makes it really, really frustrating. And that, in my mind, I do not think is the right thing to do. I mean, I don't mind a challenge, but give me a challenge without giving me an aneurysm from rage. You know what I mean? Like, it's... let's stop at 6. Okay, so come along here. I thought I saw, okay, right there. Alright, we'll take that. Oh, that's a tunnel. Uh-oh, where did it actually end? Oh, I don't foresee this going well. Okay, so I just bought a tunnel for nothing. Right, autosave again. Oh, this is so annoying. So I apologize for this, folks. It's just trying to work around a really dumb limitation in the game. It's probably enough. Okay. See, if I could just start here and then build it down, it'd be no problem at all because I could place the station first, see where it says it's connected, and then go from there. It'd be no problem. But I have to have fully connected track. I'm almost tempted to actually do that exploit I mentioned at the beginning of the video, get rid of this, and just start in Bakersfield and just go right back down to LA. Just to get around this stupid hill. It's very, very, very annoying. You probably have noticed that since I've said that about 5 times in the last 10 minutes, but just in case it wasn't clear to anyone, I'm pretty annoyed right now. So, there, let's try and get up over this hill. That hill cannot be climbed. Alright, let's try to... Alright, let's do it this way. We'll come over here to Barstow, and then we'll get the connection bonus for it, which will help. And now we'll try to build off of, just connect off of this line here somewhere. try and go up over the hill on this side. Maybe it's a little bit less of a grade. So maybe, well, it's certainly not less of a mess, but, oh, hang on, that might do. Is that close enough? No, because that's a bridge. It won't connect to the station at a bridge. Alright, let's go. I saw it. Come back. Let's try that. Will that connect? No, there's too much stuff in the way. Okay. Oh, and some more track. Excellent. Well, if I bulldoze that building, which was incredibly expensive, now will this thing fit in here? No, it still won't. More time. Alright, I'm going to take one last stab at this way, and if this doesn't work, I am going to temporarily use that other method I mentioned. Even though I consider it an exploit, I'm not using it to exploit the game to make it easier to beat. I'm doing it to make the game playable. I don't consider that out of bounds at all. Some of you may disagree, and if so, I apologize. Please feel free to leave a comment to that effect at the bottom of the video there, but in my mind, I have to get things going here in a manner that is sane. So that is what I'm going to do. Now, Barstow is a very small city, so there's no sense in building anything more than a medium station for it. Okay. Yes, thank you for that. Alright, so the station has to be kind of in this little, well, I hesitate to even use the word valley, but basically here. If it's a big station, it has to be on this hill. Can I make that happen? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. I just don't think that's climbing that hill far enough. I don't even see where I could put a station even if I got in here, because the area is so terrible. This is a very difficult city to connect to. The problem, of course, is once you click out of the building screen, you can't undo your track anymore, so basically I have to pretty well guess that I have it right, or it doesn't help at all. Will I be able to build a station there? I can't tell at all. Guess we'll have to try. Well, that's close enough if it would actually get on that track somewhere. Okay, surely. Okay. I'll make it a bigger station just because I actually will be running a train here. Looks like I can only fit a medium, but I'll take it. Wow, that was annoying. But a good pile of track back, so that's good. Puts us actually over where we started. Alright, so I'm going to be running LA, Bakersfield, Barstow. So if I put, and it's all terribly mountainous, so I definitely need maintenance and sand towers for sure somewhere along here. That might be enough for it. Let's try it. Can't even see Bakersfield, but it's there. I can just get it. Yep, interesting. Alright, so I need something that can handle the grade 14601. Looks like we're doing a consolidation. Oh, that's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. Okay. Well, let's watch a train. I have to go in and have a look at the stock market situation in a moment, too. For now, let's just watch this train suffer its way through these hills. They are absolutely terrible hills. Not sure why it needed a bridge at that one spot. Looked pretty flat to me, but anyway. Yep. For the mail and passengers. Not a whole lot of money, but not bad. I think I need one more sand and water tower over here somewhere. Get it right there, I guess. Pretty much just in time, looks like. It's not too bad for hills on this side, nothing like over at Bakersfield. That was pretty terrible. What do we do here? Some more mail and passengers back. That's alright. Yeah, I think just this one maintenance facility will be enough. Because it doesn't go through oil anywhere near as fast as it goes through water and sand. Especially on this area. Normally the sand isn't too bad, so it's really just the water that uses up. But on all these hills it uses the sand quite a bit too, so... Anyway. At least this part is mostly downhill, so... It'll keep a pretty good speed up the last leg of this trip. And let's see how it does in terms of the trip there. Well, it's still got enough coal to make some decent money. I am going to zip over here though and repay a loan. Save some interest. Let's go have a look at the stock market situation. Yeah, they're doing terribly. They're kind of hovering. Everyone else is doing well. My personal cash is still a little bit low. Maybe I should up the dividend a little bit more. I can't right now because I don't have enough cash, but might not be a terrible idea just to slightly boost it. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Just to help myself recover from that little hole there that I put myself in. Well, it's split, so I'm probably getting a raise. Yes, I am. That's good. They're all doing fantastic, except, as usual, these two. Okay, excellent. So this guy's price should be dropping some more. I wonder if it would be worthwhile picking up some of these stocks. In fact, this guy's actually paying a better dividend than I am. So, might not be a terrible thing to pick up some of theirs. That way, if I ever do have to somehow make a hostile takeover, the more shares I have, the less price I can offer for them, and they have, be more likely to accept. But I really don't think I'm going to get to a point where you should even be considering a hostile takeover yet. But anyway, what's this train doing here? It's doing alright. Alright, well, let's start thinking about our next expansion. Clearly we want to be heading down into this valley where it's easier to build, so probably over to Needles or Kingman, or maybe Needles and then up to Kingman and Henderson. That might work as well. Still pick up 6% bonds. So should I just pay one off or should I expand? I should probably expand. I just don't know whether I should just try and fight straight to Henderson, or if I should come down here to Needles. What I could do, I could make Needles a little hub, send something down here, pick up all these cities. Just mostly, no, they weren't even going to make that much, but mostly just for the track extensions, because I'm sure overall I'd make more here than I'd spend getting there. And then another route up here, for actual maybe for profit, before pushing on towards actually doing the goal. So I could make Needles kind of like a little hub city. Well, let's see what we can do. I don't know if that's going to be enough, or if I'm going to have to take out some more expensive loans, but let's see how far we get. Yeah, whoa, didn't want angle quite that sharp. But I guess I'm going to have to. And yes, I'm definitely going to have to take out some more higher interest loans. Yuck. Right, that gets us to the lovely old city of Needles. Okay. 200 more track for that. We should add in some sand and maintenance somewhere along here. And for now, I think I'm just going to have our existing train, because it's not doing too much anyway. Once it's done at Barstow, we'll just have it head straight on to Needles afterwards. So I can't really afford another train, and I'd like to see this one doing a little bit more, so I know it's not the most efficient way of doing it. It's better to have a single train doing no more than 2 or 3 cities, but for now, we will do what we can. Let's put the speed up a bit. We're already into silver territory and halfway to bronze, which is not good. Anyway, there's very little heading up this way now. But hopefully now that we've added a new city, that will help, because there'll be a little bit more stuff to push back. Hopefully, anyway. And the economy's dropping out, which is not going to help much either. Alright, we can push some of that coal further on. That's good. Oh crap, there's an oil well. They got it. That's no good. I haven't been looking for those for a while. I should have been. Too busy doing other stuff I shouldn't be doing. Anyway. Yes, we're running out of money, so you don't want to shovel it my way anymore, I understand. Which means you're annoyed with me because I only made 60K this year during a recession. And these two jerks here both made 2 million. Yes, I know. Go sit on his board if you're not happy with me. But your share price, yeah, has tanked some more. But there are no shares left, so there's nothing I can do with them anyway, so we will ignore that. Anyway, so that train arrived. Let's see what it wants to take back to LA. Hopefully you've got some stuff to take. Clothing and mail. Not great, but there's not much I can do. Anyway. Ooh, yeah, they're not real happy with me, so I'm going to have to pay off some of these loans before I can do anything. I may have to chip at these shareholders. I don't really want to, but I might have to. That's no fun. Yeah, we're not in a good spot here. I think we might be failing this mission again, and even worse than the first time. That's highly disappointing. I don't think that adding Kingman will add enough to the... Maybe if I got to Henderson, that might add enough to make that a more profitable train route, but right now it doesn't look that good. And I really don't want to do it at 12%. But we're definitely going to have to do something, because this is not going to work. Yes, you're quite fed up because I cost you money. Yeah, remember this guy? Anyway. Yet their routes are all doing just smashingly. No, that's okay. You guys just come over here in the nice flat open land with great cities. No problem. I'll just build here in the mountains with nothing. Well, we're annoyed with you because you're not making money hand over fist like they are. Oh, that's got even worse. Excellent. Well, let's try and see if I can make something happen here. That'll have risen the price up quite a bit. I got to be very careful here. Okay, so that's all they're going to do. So if I can't get to at least Kingman, okay, I can get to Kingman. Is there any chance I can get to Henderson? Probably not. Let's at least get Kingman going here. That's worth a little bit more. Let's add Kingman to the list and hope that's enough to get things going here. I'm going to have to up the dividend just so I don't go into a personal debt spiral, or we definitely have lost this one. Even still, I might. Well, let us see. This is the silver year, so I basically have 4 more years after this to magically make this happen. Don't know how likely that is. Alright, you want to push that coal further. Okay, so be it. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. This is what I was talking about personal debt spiral. Well, buy back a little bit of that, which will temporarily fix that problem. But it's only very temporary. Are you taking anything back? You are. You're going to be good if I can last long enough to get you there before I go into a personal debt spiral. Go, little train, go! Run, run, run! On the upside, most of the rest of this trip is downhill, so that should speed things up nicely. Yes, I know, things are terrible. I'm a horrible chairman, thank you for that. Yes, I got to fix things quickly, I know. They're about to fire me. Everything's lovely. Welcome to my universe. Hurry up, little train. Okay. So the company at least now has some money. Can we... Yes. Is that enough? Yes. Okay, so I've saved myself that at least. Are you going to be taking anything with you? Basically, no. Lovely. I foresee this mission being a failure. Because I highly doubt they're going to lend me any more money. No, they're not. Not until at least I pay this one off. But if I milk the shareholders anymore, it's already pretty bad. Yeah, I think this is a failure, guys. I think this may not be recoverable. Because by now, I should definitely be close, if not already at El Paso. Because it adds a few more years for the next section, but not many, so you really need to be in at least silver range. So clearly, what I've learned from this is by not milking the shareholders every year, that I wasn't able to buy as many industries, which in turn means that the yearly profit levels were not as good. So I think the next time I do try this mission, I'm definitely going to have to go back to doing it that way. Well, I guess I'll just have to be more aggressive about playing the stocks to keep, the actual share price is decent in case I do need to do takeovers, but clearly all those years that I didn't milk the shareholders, it clearly has cost me for this map, so yeah, they're about to kick me out. I'm not even going to let that run to the end. I'm just going to call it here. So, thanks guys for watching. I was hoping to have done a little bit better than I did, but anyway, it is what it is. So, I will try this mission again another time. Not sure when, probably in a couple days. But either way, at this point, I'm calling this an episode. So until next time, stay calm, and I hope you'll come and chill with me again in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye now.